course I have passion for my 49ers.
I am not going to back down on this one. Sometimes I go extra hard just to prove my point.
No, you don't get to have it both ways.
It's head-to-head. It's mano-a-mano. It's 49ers face-off. I am the ref. I am Ant, and I am living rent-free in Jason's mind right now as he is worried about how many flags I'm going to throw.
Oh,
so instead, I'm going to do what Seattle refs did in this game.
Nice.
You did say that, Ant. And what?
Ooh, flag on the play. Illegal cardigan sweater on Jason.
It's a zip-up, folks. There's no buttons.
Oh, goodness gracious. That was absolutely phenomenal. And what a great flag to start this episode of Face Off.
There's no button there. It's not like it's a regular sweater. Thank you very much.
Pardon me, sir. Do you have any gray poupon?
I do, actually. It's just not here, though.
Oh, thank God.
Well done. It's time for the coin toss. Do we remember who
Coin
I called last week.
He did call last week.
And,
Alex,
of course, I won.
Alex, of course you did. Alex is going to call the toss, and then no, it is not a two-sided coin, Jason. It is.
I don't know.
There's definitely a heads and a tails.
I believe you. I'm going to go with heads.
I think that's a lie.
I think that's a flag, Ant.
It's a tails.
That's shocking.
Tails never fails. I mean,
wow.
Come on, guys.
So, yeah, Jason wins the toss, shockingly.
Can I throw a challenge flag on that coin?
Interesting.
It's a two-tailed coin, not two-headed.
A two-tailed coin.
As opposed to two-headed.
Okay, there's so many avenues I could go with this. But anyway, Jason, what would you like to do? Would you like to go first on the first topic, or would you like Alex to go first?
Alex can go ahead and go first.
I'm going to throw a flag on that. I'm just kidding. I'm not really.
I'm just very embittered by this whole day.
Really?
Word of the day?
Really?
Embittered?
Yeah.
Huh.
I wish you were nuanced about your implementation of new words.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was.
I can't even ask for Ant to throw a flag on that one. That was really well.
I tried.
Yeah. You got to give the first down on that one.
Yep. The George Kittle one.
There we go.
The
All right.
people's tight end.
So, Alex, you're going to be going first. And the first question on the docket is biggest challenge for the 49ers heading into this game versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
I think the biggest challenge is probably going to be questions with the cornerback room. So your cornerback play against the receivers. I think that's the biggest hurdle right now. Not knowing what's going on with Emmanuel Moseley and what is his status opens up a lot of questions, a lot of big questions about the 49ers secondary and this very young, talented wide receiver group, whether it's T. Higgins, whether it's Jamar Chase, whether it's Tyler Boyd, CJ Uzama, I think is how you actually pronounce it.
I thought you were going Hashmazode, lock it up.
No, I wasn't going to do that. And then Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is going to cause some problems as well. But sure. I think your receiving game, your receiving core there for the Cincinnati Bengals is one that is they put a focus and emphasis on drafting Jamar Chase where they did. They wanted to make sure that Burrow had weapons. He has weapons. Yes, the 49ers D-line can get after it in a big way. We saw that this past weekend and this Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. But when Emmanuel Moseley isn't out there, things now become a lot more difficult for the secondary because you put an emphasis on Josh Norman to be the guy who can lock down one side of the field, and Josh Norman is not a guy who can consistently lock down one side of the field. That's not a strength of his. He's a guy that you can occasionally put on an island, that you can roll some help over the top to and have some success. But Diamondou Lenore is not that guy. He's not ready. Dante Johnson had some success, but we've also seen Dante Johnson on the outside have a lot of bad plays. So if you're the 49ers, are you going back out and bringing in Drake Kirkpatrick again, or are you rolling with the guys that you have in this locker room? Because no, under no circumstances.
Go Big Blue. He's going to be psyched up after his Michigan Wolverines won something. With Jim Harbaugh as their coach.
Nope.
Yeah, how bad
Ambry Thomas, you're asking for a repeat of the Miami Dolphins Brian Allen situation from last year.
It wouldn't be.
I have to ask Jason. How bad it stung though for Harbaugh to win that.
It was nice to see him actually win something. I think that was impressive that he actually.
So he's
did
taking
something.
shots. Jason's salty.
Yeah,
I think I have to throw a flag on the play for the amount of salt that was in that.
Yeah, I agree. Definite salt on the play.
But I mean,
that is
they did beat Iowa for God's sakes, and this is not Field of Dreams. And then after that, what else does Iowa even have? Come on.
It gave us George Kittle, Jason. So.
It's true. And it gave the league Noah Fant and TJ Hawkinson.
And CJ Beathard.
There you
True.
go. And he's got some flowing locks right now.
He does.
Somehow this is not coming out as a win for you.
Florida's
Big loose.
man turned him up. Iowa's a trash team. Like they're gonna play Cincinnati, I believe, if the brackets are right.
Are
It
you?
wouldn't shock me if they lose that game.
Can I throw a flag on
Yeah,
the
you
college
can.
football rambling? What is happening right now?
We've got a flag on Jason.
Challenge flag.
No, not a challenge.
Well,
flag.
I'm challenging the relevance of what
Yeah.
you're trying to discuss.
You are definitely off topic, sir. Will you please get back on the topic of the biggest challenge facing the 49ers heading into the Cincinnati Bengals game? Not
The Cincinnati
anything
Bengals.
about the Ohio Buckeyes or whatever Fox was calling them this week.
Iowa Buckeyes.
Yeah, the Iowa Buckeyes. No,
I don't
Iowa
know.
Hawkeyes.
I didn't
Let's
know
get
how I didn't
away
catch
from
that.
college football, back to the NFL where we belong.
Right on. I think the biggest
I like
challenge.
your little chuckle after you do that.
Gotta get it in there, man. I'm still happy
Shut
about
up, Beavis.
that one. The biggest challenge. Us. I mean, if we go on the obvious, would be if Fred and Debo can play. Like, obviously, that is huge. But if we assume that they're both back, the biggest challenge might be special teams. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we give up a kick return for a touchdown, which kept the Vikings in the game. Kind of all year long, we've had issues really with kick coverage. Yesterday, we give up a fake punt to Homer Simpson for a 75-yard touchdown run. Don't. I mean, what the hell is that?
Duff.
That was just ridiculous. I mean, that side was so open. I could have run that ball in. That was awful.
There's a flag on the play. Unrealistic expectations of one's abilities.
Also, we all know that Jason likes to wear flip flops when he's at games.
That's
so
100% accurate.
There's no way. There's no way.
Someone would have grabbed you by the sweater and took you down.
I agree. I definitely agree there.
Well,
Listen,
you're right. It was wide open, Jason.
it was wide open. But Jason, I disagree with you here on this.
Ooh, can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thanks.
Please do, Jason.
Yeah, I finished. Okay,
So-
I finished.
What we don't want to do is give an explosive offense like the Bengals short fields over and over again, because even though our defense has played really well, especially last month, and then they played really well yesterday too. I don't want to hear anyone say that they didn't, especially our front seven. Even Ant's boy at linebacker actually made a couple even okay plays.
Demetrius Flanagan Foles.
That's the one.
Fouls. Fouls. Sorry.
I was about to throw a challenge flag.
Yeah.
Fouls,
Sorry,
yeah.
Corrected myself. I reached for the flag on the fouls and got it right. Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. Demetrius Flanagan. I don't know if you saw my Wild That's Bold, Jason. My Wild That's Bold was actually that Fouls was going to have himself one heck of a game. So
You were pretty accurate there.
yeah,
he wasn't bad.
I seen the improvement on the film on the All 22.
So, like I said, the last thing that we want to do is give them short fields. Like that would just be lights out, because eventually Joe and all those players, and they actually have a much better than expected O-line too. Like, so I want them to have as many long fields as possible. I want Travis Benjamin back returning the punts as well. As much as I like, as you guys have all know, I like the ball in Ayuk's hands as much as possible. I don't want him back returning punts. I think it will save him from potentially getting hit unnecessarily. And Benjamin's a great returner, so if he's going to be up on the active roster, he needs to be, at minimum, being the punt returner all the time.
Well, he is officially on the active roster. They promoted him a few weeks ago.
But he doesn't get on the field much. So if he's going to use that spot that we could use for somebody else,
You're okay with it even after the turnover on the kickoff?
yeah.
Yikes.
No, I'm just wondering. 'Cause
No.
Right, he had the 17-yard punt return, which was nice,
Which
and
was
then he had the
nice.
fumble. You're good with that though.
Yeah, because he has a history of being very reliable out there. And
I actually agree with you, but I was just asking.
before we say any more, obviously we want to send out our prayers and best wishes to Cannon too. That was a scary incident. I saw that he's in stable condition, but he's going to spend the night at the hospital in Seattle. So
Well, it's kind of it makes a funky way to start the game because there's all
Yes.
that concern, about Trenton Cannon.
now all of a sudden you got there and go play.
Yeah, 100%. It's weird.
The fact that the defense got them to a dominant 3-and-out after that, I thought was big time impressive, because I really thought that they would get at least a couple first downs to where it would take them a few plays to get back into it, but they were on them from the go, and then we had that terrible
the Homer Simpson
fake punt. Yeah. Homer Simpson over there.
Springfield. Yeah.
See, though, this is where I disagree, Jason, because I think in order for something to be the biggest problem for the 49ers heading into a game against an opponent, there can't be an easy solution. And all the problems you just listed have easy solutions. Every single one of them.
New special teams coach?
No. Your special teams coach just goes out there and doesn't try and do fancy stuff. So, like, instead of trying to have your kickoff coverage team actually cover kicks, kick the ball into the end zone. Kick the ball in the end zone. You don't want people running fakes on you? Then run punt safe.
Oh. I mean,
these are all
Seattle
easy.
saw something on the film where they could...
See, this is where I disagree with you. I don't think that's the case, because the last few weeks, the 49ers have been running punt safe.
So just randomly out of the clear blue sky, old crazy Pete's like, hey guys,
I don't
guess
think
what?
I don't think
Let's just
it's
run
that.
this right now
I
from
think
our
the
own
49ers have shown.
25.
I think the 49ers have shown one thing on film, right? They line up and rush the punter, or they play punt safe. That's what they've done. So the Niners lined up to rush the punter, and Seattle went, okay, this is a situation where we can run this fake here.
The exact right
We can
side
run
where
this.
there's no
We can
one
run this
there.
fake.
You guys are both right.
There was no contain.
You guys are
Like,
actually both right, because what happens is they call it, but if they don't see it, they go regular punt, right? So you're looking for a certain look, a certain set. They guarantee they saw something on film that they thought they could take advantage of. The 49ers lined up in that situation, they took advantage.
Boom.
But I think you guys are both right, because there is a lot of times that he just goes punt safe as well. So they caught him going in. I don't know if it was punt block. I don't remember the play exactly.
Why
wasn't
from
punt
that
block, because
spot on the field
had
would you
two-
even try that, though?
They had doubles. They had doubles on both sides.
I think it's punt return then. It was a punt return setup.
but they didn't
there's
execute.
no way that should have been this. I mean, that was a freaking Grand Canyon that he had to run through.
Well, they smashed the. I mean, they literally the entire
bad.
left side got washed down. I mean, they sealed the edge, and he just goes.
He had a convoy to run, too.
We also don't know, was Trenton Cannon one of those guys that was supposed to be out there?
Possibly, there's a good chance.
Very likely.
So the thing is the backup's got to execute though too. But
True, but this is what I mean. I
or
think
just be
there.
aware
I
at
think there are
least.
easy solutions to the special teams game.
Then why has it been kind of an issue off and on all year, though?
I agree with you. I think it's been an issue off and on all year. You know
the
what
Panthers-
they haven't done. You know what they haven't done. They haven't changed.
Adjusting?
They haven't changed what they wanted to do. Hightower hasn't changed. They haven't kicked the ball out of the end zone consistently. Right?
Tim Hightower should not be coaching. He should be working on his running backs then. I know his name not Tim but Tim Hightower was a running back for the Cardinals a couple years ago.
not going to allow it. Number one, I didn't like it. It wasn't funny enough for me.
Sorry.
Number two,
Not up to my high
it's
standard.
Richard Hightower.
I know it's not Tim, but Tim was the running back though that used to play for Arizona.
This is
Relevant.
the Arizona cutback, or is this the 49ers
Relevance,
cutback?
Jason.
I'm getting more embittered.
Yeah.
I'm glad because my
Turning red again.
point still stands. I feel the solutions to the problem you have made are fairly easy solutions.
Then by God, make them.
I agree with you that they should make them.
Like if they're so easy, then
I
do
agree
'em.
with you they should make them.
I mean, if the Panthers
but they're easy.
can fire Joe Brady, maybe because he was underperforming, even though he had 3 different quarterbacks and his best overall players out for the whole year. But hey, his fault. Maybe Kyle and John.
Is Joe Brady? But see, this is Joe Brady getting fired because Joe Brady's underperforming, or is Joe Brady getting fired so that Matt Rule keeps his job because he's putting the blame on someone else?
I'm just wondering what Joe Brady has to do with the 49ers.
Also agreed.
Just making the point that if they can change out their OC in the middle of the season with all the stuff that they've had go wrong, why can't we get rid of our special teams guy who?
Who are you replacing him with?
Hell if I know.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's the only problem, Jason. Like I'm not saying it's not a good idea to think about that, but you have to have a solution to the problem before you create a problem.
Because that is a problem.
Like,
Not having a special teams coordinator is a problem.
I'm sure Kyle and John have in their Rolodex the one that they can either promote from within or can take it over or even outside can come in and change up something because whatever they've been doing, especially the last 6-7 weeks, has not worked.
Isn't this just Kyle Shanahan? Isn't this time for Kyle Shanahan as a head coach to go in there and be like, Richie, this is how we're going to do it. You're going to do things exactly this way.
It should be either or. Like, either he comes in and says, this is what you're going to do.
What would you prefer?
I mean, I don't like hiring guys in season, so I would.
So why was that your first suggestion?
Because it sounds tough and it sounds hardcore. But
sometimes he has to go extra hard. Just
yeah, of course. What's the motto? I mean, come on. If he does not agree, or if he tells Kyle no, then throw his ass out.
He wouldn't tell Kyle. I mean, anybody that knows what Richie Hightower's about, he's not telling Kyle Shanahan no. He's going to do exactly what Kyle wants. I mean, that's part of it.
Now it's time then.
Oh, agreed. That's why I was asking if you thought we were to the point where it's, hey, what your team is doing is so egregious, you need to be fired.
It's keeping teams in games like it did last week, and it cost us a chunk of the game yesterday.
Well, I mean, I feel like it cost us the game. They shouldn't. That punt. There's no reason for a fake punt.
Yeah, I was gonna say turnover battle.
To go 76 yards for a touchdown. There's just no reason.
No, that shouldn't happen. Yeah.
No. Should have been 23-23 with the Niners driving down to win the football game.
Yeah. And I mean, that play changed the whole complexion of the first quarter, which San Francisco controlled, hands down.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But you look at the scoreboard, and Russ is like, "Hey, we still got a chance. All right, even though our O line's getting crushed, we can't run the ball. Every out pass is getting smothered. Like,
true.
Yeah." I mean, let us know what you thought about this topic down below. Let us know who you thought had the better argument. Is the cornerback position?
McMahon.
Is it the secondary? But Jason, now the 49ers lost this game. It brings up a bigger
fired.
Okay. You're going to channel your Vince McMahon while I'm trying to talk. That's rude, sir.
You want to throw a flag on that?
No, I don't. I just want to move on because it's Jason's turn to kick this one off. And with the Niners going 6-6 now, they've actually fallen to the 7th seed, which brings up the question: where do we want the 49ers in the playoffs? Which matchup is the best situation for them? Is it good for which one's better, 5th, 6th, or 7th seed? We know who's at the top of the heap: Arizona Cardinals, Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then the Dallas Cowboys. Which is the best matchup, and which one do you think, number one, you want to see the 49ers in? Number two, can the 49ers get to? Because now passing the Rams seems a little bit tougher than it did yesterday.
Rams have the toughest schedule remaining. Obviously, injuries can kind of sort of sway that. And we do have one game left with the Rams. So all we need them to do is have one bad game. Have Stafford come out there and have one bad game again, and then the 5 seed is in play. That being said, I don't really care what number seed-wise they are. I care more about who we're playing. I don't want to see Tampa. I just don't. Our DBs trying to cover Godwin and Gronk and Mike Evans, and sometimes when out of the backfield and all the other stuff they try and do. I don't want to see Josh Norman anywhere near any of those guys. I just don't.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys are a team that we could definitely beat. Zeke looks a little bit like he's kind of banged up and kind of maybe not as good as he was at the start of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Old Dakota Prescott, the guy that's quote an elite quarterback.
Dakota Rain.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but if you look at his record with Amari Cooper and without Amari Cooper, it's like if you look at Kyle's record with Jimmy and without Jimmy. It's a big jump.
Or Jimmy's record without George Kittle.
That's also true too.
Also true.
Exactly. So, and I just feel like defensively they're so hyper aggressive that we can capitalize on them with our motion and that kind of stuff, where Diggs might try and jump a play, Debo goes outside of him, boom, gone. Same with Ayuk or Kittle. That I think that game would be really fun too, because it gets back to the great Niner Cowboy rivalry that at least you and I grew up watching too. So that'd be nice.
What a veiled shot.
No, but you're just younger, bro. Yeah. The other team that I want bad too is the Green Bay Packers, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. I want to get up there again.
I like that.
I want payback, because that game San Francisco played B- game, and it took Aaron Rodgers with some just magic to lose that game too. So LaFleur, let's see what he can do against Kyle again in the playoffs. Because last time they played us in the playoffs, it didn't go so well. Now this is obviously a much more physical team than what they were, but
True.
I still don't think they're tough enough to stop us. And by then, Bakhtiari will be back, but he won't be nearly up to speed that he is capable of being. So Bosa and hopefully D Ford by then too can make Rodgers' day challenging. Like I said, I just don't want to see Tampa. So you give me Dallas, you give me the Packers. We're at best, we're at worst 50-50 with both of those teams if Greenlaw, Debo, and Fred are all healthy. If those guys are all healthy, we got a good shot.
I like that. I don't think it matters where the Niners are seed-wise either. It's all about getting into the dance. It's not about where you sit so far right now with this team. It's just about getting there, especially after the start you've had for the season. I think for me, there's one clear-cut answer, and it's Green Bay. Green Bay is the team that you want to face for a variety of reasons. Number one, it's a coach you're familiar with. So if you're Kyle Shanahan, yes, he's familiar with you, but you're also just as familiar with him. Number two, of the teams that you've listed, right, of the teams you discussed, of the Cowboys and of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, of those two teams, Green Bay is the only one of those teams that has consistently been having injuries and dealing with injuries currently right now. So it's the team that's not the healthiest of those three. So you have a team that's,
The Bucs' defense is, especially
the secondary, 100%.
It's very banged up.
But this is why for me it's Green Bay first, and that's why Tampa's second. Tampa's actually the second team of the two that I want to see.
At Tom Brady magic, though.
I listen. I get the Tom Brady magic, but the secondary is really bad. It's atrocious. And what have we known about San Francisco? Typically, most teams, in order for them to have success against the run, they've had to rely on the secondary to come up and be run stoppers. Safeties coming up and stopping the run. Corners coming up in the box, stopping the run, and coming up trying to set the edge. Their secondary is not good. Not a good secondary. Debo will be healthy by that point. Ayuk will be even further along in his development and his progression. And George Kittle is George Kittle. That's actually, I don't believe that's as bad as a matchup for the 49ers as some people would believe. Yes, the receiving core for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is a problem. But what have we known?
Front seven is
what have we known? What have we known consistently about Tampa Bay and Tom Brady? Tom Brady relies.
He doesn't lose in the playoffs.
Well, he doesn't lose in the playoffs sometimes. I mean, sometimes he's magic and lights out, and other times
like nobody except Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Okay.
I mean,
you have to go out and execute, man. You have to go out and execute. I mean, those things are a reality. And there's one thing that Tom struggled with all season long that I've seen on all 22 film, and that's disguise coverages. And D'Amico Ryan's disguised his coverages better than a lot of people have, and in this league, a lot of D coordinators. Tom is very similar to Jimmy in that he predetermines his reads. He sees things, he sees coverages, he sees drops, he sees where guys are, and he pre-snap decides where he's going with the football or an area that he's going to attack. And that can lead to Tom having to hold on to the football just a little bit longer than he needs to, and that can lead for opportunities for the 49ers. Is it the matchup that I want? No, Green Bay is the matchup that I want. I think Green Bay is the team that we actually have their number because we should have come away with that win. There were plenty of opportunities.
So anti-Dallas. What about?
It's not anti-Dallas. It's not. It's not anti-Dallas.
Then has you hesitant though?
Nothing has me hesitant. I'm fine with all three teams. I'm just, if I tier them, that's the tier. The tier is Green Bay, then Tampa Bay, then Dallas.
Why are they the lowest one then?
So Dallas is the third team that option. I am curious what exactly why.
Dallas would be the third option because they have a mobile quarterback.
Okay, good.
And the 49ers tend to struggle with a more mobile quarterback. Stationary quarterbacks is an area that the 49ers tend to not struggle as much with. So that's why for me, yes, it's still Tom Brady. I get that. I understand that it's still. What'd you say?
I said Dak is he looks awful the last month. I mean he's
the last month.
But it's also going to be a month away. Jason, do you think he could get it together in a month?
I mean, yeah, I 100% believe that. I almost think
he's got some kind of injury though.
Maybe
he's like I said.
Maybe
he's missing throws that he. I mean he's never been a dynamic passer. Like,
listen, is the Tom Brady greatness coming off of the heels of his wonderful performance against the Atlanta Falcons defense?
No.
Okay, because literally a few weeks ago he played like absolute dog duty.
I mean, he threw an awful pick six yesterday too. So.
Yeah, I mean,
it was hilarious to watch.
Of the three quarterbacks,
it's still Tom in playoffs.
The three, yes, I agreed with you. But of the three quarterbacks right now, The one I'm most worried about is Aaron Rodgers, but it's the supporting cast around him. It's the familiarity with the team and the strengths of the 49ers and the strengths of the Green Bay Packers that leads me to believe the Niners have a better chance against Green Bay than of all the other opponents. And then if you look at what the Cowboys have with their weapons offensively, with their receiving core, it's not the same level of caliber wide receiver, but it's still very talented wide receivers in Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and what they can do, as well as a healthy Michael Gallup now who's back into the fold, as well as the emergence of Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard has been, very quick, very speedy.
What if it's the football team? What if the football team catches Dallas and overtakes them?
I actually feel really good about that. I really do.
Where would you put them, Jason, on the hierarchy as far as, of those teams that you were talking about?
First.
Yeah, I definitely want to see them.
So for you, it's the NFC East that you would want to see first.
No, Packers.
You want to see Packers. So you and Alex agree that it's Packers.
So Packers, NFC East champ, Bucks.
Okay. The only reason my list would shift is if Washington ends up winning the NFC East, and then it's Washington, Green Bay, and then Tampa Bay.
Taylor Heineke, man. You know what though? Like
he is mobile, but he is prone to mistakes. He is prone to make mistakes.
Well, so our guy too. So
let's hope he doesn't go full Gus Frerotte and is able to play in the
knock himself out. Oh
yeah,
gosh.
But let's move on to the next topic. End of game play calling, Alex. Jason really was wanting to talk about this one because a lot of people weren't fans of the way Kyle Shanahan was using the clock, running the ball on first and second down. How are you feeling about this situation? Do you think it was the right way to go? Should they have ran something else? How did you feel Kyle Shanahan's play calling was at the end of the game?
I guess the first thing I'd ask is question, folks.
Yes.
Were you the same people who were upset with the 49ers clock management against Green Bay?
Nope.
Really?
Well, me?
Yeah.
Me personally?
Yeah. Yeah. Do we need to roll? I mean, I could throw a flag right now.
No, well, okay, first of all,
I can throw a flag right now.
I didn't say I was unhappy with the clock management.
And do you need to throw a flag, Mr. Official?
I loved how they managed the clock of trying to get it down as little as possible because Russell can do that Aaron Rodgers BS.
I also thought I was going first. What happened?
Well, you asked me a question.
I asked everybody technically a question.
That's the first thing you said that was right. You did ask a question.
I did ask a question, but
and you specifically called me out too. So
I mean, I called you out because the reality is here, Jay, is you and other people, a lot of other people, who are very upset with the play calling, especially for you specifically, the second down play call in the red zone.
Yesterday, yes.
Yesterday.
Still talking about the Packers.
No. I'm talking about the second down play call where they run the ball on the interior.
Yes.
I think it's silly because you were the same folks who want Kyle Shanahan to make sure there's no time on the clock.
I didn't mind
against Green Bay. So when he calls a run play, now it's a problem. Now it's they knew the run was coming. They didn't know the run was coming. They don't know that. Seattle has no idea if the run is coming. You know what Seattle's not going to do, though? They're not going to give up a rushing touchdown in that situation. They're going to make Jimmy Garoppolo beat you with his arm. So that's what they're going to try and do. So if you're Kyle Shanahan, you know this is the end of the game. You know what touch? What do you mean throw a flag?
Contradicted himself.
I am not contradicting myself. In what way?
If you want to throw the flag, throw, and then I'll make a decision.
Because he just
then throw the flag.
Throw a challenge flag. Are you
going to throw it?
Flag?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, here it is.
Flag. Okay, go ahead. Now explain it to me so I can.
He just got done saying how Seattle wasn't going to let them score a rushing touchdown, but he was okay with them running the ball there.
Yeah, he's okay because it's going to use the clock.
The frick, Jason.
So, but
can you just overrule this now so I can get back to my point?
If you know that it's not going to work because they're going to stop it, wouldn't that instinctively mean that it was probably not the best play call?
Wrong, because you're running the clock, Jason. You're running the clock. The thing that you
have
want,
a chance to give an incomplete pass and stops the clock.
But so it doesn't matter.
That's why you can run the ball.
That's why you can run the football.
Seattle didn't have timeouts.
If you know it's not going to work, then it would be.
It's not about it not working, Jason. It's about making a team respect it.
I'm going to actually comment on this a little bit. Yeah, you can use the clock, right? That's number one. If it doesn't work and you don't get a touchdown out of it, you get yourself closer. If you're at 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, right there by the goal line, then now you can run the football again, and then you can pass. So then the play action really works. So it changes the situation. So I cannot agree with your concept and with your red flag. However, it was a good attempt.
Thank you.
I think it was a poor attempt, personally.
Agree to disagree.
Okay, we can disagree on this because the reality of
If
the
you disagree
situation
with
is
me too much, you're going to get a flag.
I gotta understand. I understand, Mr. Official. But the interior handoff on second down got the Niners closer. That was going to be my point. It does two things. It, number one, runs the clock, and at number two, gets you closer. The best part is the number three thing that's almost not intentional is it makes Seattle have to respect the run. So Seattle doesn't want the 49ers to run the ball in for a touchdown. So they're going to load that box in. But sometimes that load, Jason, as you know, when you load the box in, sometimes it's just a show.
Careful.
Sometimes you're just showing the box, right?
Sometimes
to get the 49ers, will you stop talking? Get the 49ers, right, out of run situations or make them think they don't have a run box so they go to a pass and shift out. Like, teams do this type of stuff all the time. So the 49ers running on second down, number one, makes Seattle respect it. Number two, it gets them a little bit closer. That's important. And then, best of all, the clock runs, and the 49ers get to run some clock, then kill a timeout, and then come in and, hey, you know you need a touchdown to win, so you're going to utilize 4 downs anyway. It doesn't matter. Let's just get ourselves into a situation where we're a little bit closer, and we have 2 play calls we're comfortable with. Kyle Shanahan has 2 play calls he's comfortable with. Trent Sherfield gets held on the third down play call in the end zone, and you don't get you don't get the call. That's
the whole way,
and he almost caught it anyway, regardless.
The whole
and
way,
then on fourth down, you scheme up a play that has Trent Sherfield wide open in the end zone, and unfortunately, Tom Compton gets pushed back a little bit. Dunlap is able to get up in space and knock the ball down.
He's tall anyway,
and you get out. You don't get the touchdown that you want out of the drive. There was nothing wrong with it. I thought the drive was a masterclass from Kyle Shanahan. You had a 99-yard drive that almost ended in a touchdown. It's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate that Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson, because if you don't have Russell Wilson on the other side of the football, you're not trying to kill clock there at the end. And instead, when you have all that momentum, rather than trying to make sure Russell Wilson has as little time as possible, you just get the ball in and punch it in with all that momentum. You don't take timeouts. You don't stop. You don't run the ball there. You just go.
Jason, you are correct. Alex did say 99 yards. That's a flag. It was not a 99-yard drive.
It was 94 because they started at
my
the
apologies.
3 and they got to the 3. So.
My apologies.
Well done, Jason. I'm going to add 5 extra seconds.
I finally got one right.
I told you there's going to be flag.
How many So he just used both of his challenges. He has no more for the rest of the show.
No, he gets another one because he won that one. So
you have to win both to get another one.
No, you not in my book. No.
Not in Face Off.
We're in Seattle right now, so we can do what we want.
The rules don't apply here, apparently.
Yeah, but I'm curious, Jason. I'm curious to see what you have to say about this. I like what Alex said. I'm curious to see what you say, and then I have a question after that.
I thought the drive construction was beautiful. Jimmy was great. Like it honestly was one of the best drives they had this entire year. Like it was beautiful to watch, except for the last couple yards. But and if you were listening to the broadcast, is it either? I think it was Rondé, right?
It's Tiki.
Tiki, okay.
He was filling in for Trent Green.
Yeah, who I wish he was there because God, Tiki was bad.
Agreed.
Probably why his national radio show just got moved too. But
he works with Mark Molasses or whatever his name is.
No, on the show he's with Brandon Tierney.
He's with Brandon Tierney.
He's a clown too.
Yeah, Tiki and Tierney.
Yes,
wow.
So they went from national to being on just the Fan now in New York.
Impressive.
Yeah, it's great.
Seems very successful.
Don't ask me how I actually know that because that's really bad too. But
because you live in national media.
Accurate.
He did say, and I said this before the play. I said I hope if this is a play action pass right here, they will score. And after the play, he said that if they had run a play action, it'd be easier to sell a play action on second down because if it gets to third and fourth, you were much more expecting it to be a pass. So that made me feel pretty smart that he actually said that because that's why I said before the play.
A question for you. I know you want to finish the topic, but just on that point.
Yeah.
If you knew that and Tiki Barber knew that, do you think Pete Carroll and Ken Norton Jr. knew that? I
mean, they might have, but with San Francisco being such a run-heavy team, I mean, they're averaging 60 to 65% last month running plays. It's not out of the question for it to be a toss or something outside. And
out of the shotgun?
Well, they run out of the shotgun too.
I'm literally asking.
Yeah, they do. Okay. They do run out of shotgun, but not a lot.
I wish that it felt like if you run play action on first or second down, and which are much more potentially running plays with the timeouts and that kind of stuff. It feels like it might have just held a linebacker or got a DB to take a step the wrong way, and then boom, someone's open, and we pop it in. So the third and fourth down plays I was fine with. It was just literally the second down play. It felt like that was your shot to run either a play action or some type of a misdirection. Maybe use Ayuk on a jet sweep, just something to get outside or to pause the defense for just half a second to get somebody else open.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't like to criticize play calls, but I just thought that was maybe a little too, not conservative, but just too protective of this situation to not. I mean, at that point when Seattle has no timeouts left and there's less than 35 seconds on the clock, score. Because
you weren't saying that against the Green Bay Packers.
That's because our defense back then wasn't playing nearly as well as it's been playing now.
Defense hadn't been playing.
Did have a
well
lot of
in the
injuries
second
at the corner position against Green Bay, 100%.
Yeah,
Because I think Demo was out there because Norman was hurt. Was Mosley out as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So
yeah, Dante Johnson.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a little bit different situation.
And the Packers have a better O-line too than the Seahawks do. And
I agree with you.
We
hadn't
been getting a consistent pass rush.
Let me ask you guys this, and I want it to go to both of you. Is really the fault running on first and second down, or is the real fault not running on first, second, third, and fourth down?
Ooh. I don't know if I would have hated that, to be honest with you.
If this was 8 years ago in the Super Bowl, I'd have been all for it. But
you know what? I'm going to agree with you on this. I think, not agree with you, but I think this is.
I'm just posing a question. Should they have ran it 4 times?
One time, you have to throw a pass to make sure that you give yourself at least a chance to get into the end zone, regardless. So if they had run it 3 times, I'd been okay with that.
Why would you have to throw it on the 4th down?
Dude, if they got to 4th, you're gonna tell me if they run in the first 3, boom, 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 and you get down to the 1 yard line, like inch line, you can just quarterback sneak on 4th and 1, 4th and inches, 4th and goal there.
I'm just saying that because you said you wanted a situation where the play action pass is very open. I mean, if you ran it 3 straight plays and you're down at the 1 yard line,
the inch line,
what do they think you're gonna do?
Well, at that point, you expect either
a play action pass, so you have to sit back and wait a little bit. You can't go all out for the run, or are you waiting on the run?
Go straight ahead if you're an inch away.
And now you can run a pitch outside?
Or that too, but...
I'm just asking it.
Where
did they get to, like the 3 yard line?
Yeah.
I mean, you got 2 plays. You can't get 3 yards in 2 plays?
Seattle did a pretty good job all game, though, of stuffing the run, especially
the 49ers got 4 in the first 2 plays.
That's 2 yards a carry. That's,
and they needed how many
3
more?
yards away, yeah. But it's 2 and 2.
When you condense it even more, now it would depend on what they were running. If it was a Jim Harbaugh style where we just put all 10 guys up there and just try and smash them, then I'm not sure that works. But if they had gone 3 wide and something like that, where it's a little more spread out, would there be a few more lanes to actually run in
holes? Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting thought.
But
it definitely is.
Like I said, it
pull a swerve, go full empty, and then have Jimmy come up under center and QB sneak it from the 3. It would have worked.
Like that read option.
Oh, you're talking about the read option?
Read option worked earlier in the year.
Against the Bears, yes.
And what did it get?
Do the Bears not have a
couple touchdowns?
Hold on. Do the Bears not have a good front?
The Bears actually have a better defense than the Seahawks do. So.
Okay, so then what's your point?
No, it just was it surprised me.
I think that's the whole point, right? It was trying to surprise them.
It was definitely a surprising play call. Yeah,
so, I mean, everybody let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Should the 49ers have went with a play-action pass on 2nd down, left themselves more options on 3rd and 4th? Did Kyle Shanahan play it right, or should they have just ran the ball 4 straight times?
Or, I mean, hell, I would have been okay even with them giving a handoff to Kittle even, too, though.
Well, I mean, if you're running the ball, it doesn't matter how you run the ball. I'm not saying give it to Elijah Mitchell 4 times, Just saying you run the football 4 times.
Since he was just on the warpath all day yesterday.
It's true. He was on the warpath.
So I mean, it was at least a thought process.
Definitely is. Very interesting.
But
Very
it's
interesting.
time for the drive. Time for the drive. And Jason, since you won the toss, you get to decide who goes first.
I'll go first.
Ooh, I like that. I like the confidence.
This time.
You've been having a very good episode so far. The question is,
Another strong
who
performance.
starts at cornerback if Emmanuel Mosley is out?
Oh my God, this is something that we just don't want to assume. Let's just hope that he is back. But if he's not, I would probably lean towards Johnson. I don't think Lenore is capable to matching up with the receivers that the Bengals have. So I'm hoping that basically really that Joe Burrow's think he might actually keep him out, because then we could probably start. It probably wouldn't matter, but if he's healthy and plays, it's got to be Johnson. Maybe get somebody off the scrap heap other than Drake Kirkpatrick, but
Who else is out there?
I don't even know. But at this point,
I'm just curious if you knew. I couldn't think of anyone.
Eric Davis might.
And come back.
Can we get him at retirement? I mean, it's a scary thought, folks. It really is.
That it is, Jason. It is a very scary thought, but unlike you, I'm not thinking. I know it's Dante Johnson.
I thought you said that.
I'm not thinking. You said you're thinking Dante Johnson,
no
but
kidding.
I'm not thinking Dante Johnson. It is Dante Johnson. It's not Diamador Lenore. The fact that Diamador Lenore went out there today first and then immediately got yanked and replaced tells you everything you need to know about where Diamador Lenore is right now, and it's not on the field ready to go. He's just not there. And you know what? That's okay. He's a 5th-round pick. He's a guy who was taken late in the draft by the 49ers. He's not supposed to be ready to go right now. He's not supposed to be ready to go this year. He did a very serviceable job early in the year, but film's out. Teams know they're going after him in a big way, and they're going at him. And when they're going at him, they're having success. Even when the Niners roll help over the top, they're still having success. He's not able to do enough. And so if he's not able to do enough, it has to be DJ. And that is a scary proposition as well, because DJ has had good moments like this last game, and then he's had horrible moments like the Green Bay Packers game. So not a great situation for the 49ers. Emmanuel Mosley, get that ankle healthy. I don't want to have to worry about it against Cincinnati.
So both of you went with Dante Johnson. I thought that was interesting. So I think everyone's going to either agree or disagree with both of you on this topic.
True.
So we got that going for us. And if
Who would you go with?
I don't know. I would have to really look at the
Josh
game plan
Norman
and decide what
and
you want to
Drake
do.
Kirkpatrick are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's someone you
Trash.
can get off the street, but
Sure.
it all depends on if you think you can
Butt crack.
go Norman on one of these guys, and I think you could go Norman on Higgins, but then are you just going to double with Lenore, or Dante Johnson? I mean, it is interesting. It's a
Got to
tough
roll
question.
coverage. Jamar then.
I wish there was another option, and there's just not. I don't think Lenore's ready to go yet, but
Is there any world where they actually roll Ombre Thomas out there?
I mean, it depends on if they think he's a better option than Lenore. The fact that Lenore came in first means they think Lenore's
world
the
gonna
next
end?
best guy.
Say what?
Is the world going to end? I mean, if that's the option.
If Ombre Thomas is the option, dude, it's
Christ is coming, and
One thing I can guarantee you,
we
Jason,
all better
is
say a prayer.
he will play off. I mean, that's what'll happen. He will play off.
he will literally sit
He
at
plays off coverage. I mean,
Yeah.
and he wants to be physical. He's just learning right now. I mean, those guys are learning. The secondary's been an issue. Yeah, I don't know if they're
year.
going to... If Mosley's out for an extended period of time, you might see the return of Drake Kirkpatrick.
It looks like he was up walking around, so it's
not
possible.
well though.
I
Not
think
well.
it's a lower ankle. I think it's a low ankle sprain.
It is a low ankle sprain.
It's possible he can play next week.
definitely
a low
possible.
ankle sprain put Trey Sermon on the IR.
Well, his was a really bad low ankle sprain.
Trey's was
Okay.
Per Kyle Shanahan.
So let us know who won this conversation, this argument down in the comment section down below. Was it Alex? Was it Jason? Let us know, and then let us know what you think about this. And if there's any corners that are out there on the scrap heap that you
call
believe
us.
the 49ers
Yo,
could get,
got your
let
boy.
us know in the comment section.
Got your boy.
So we can
need
get
some help.
these guys in the 49ers camp. We need them out there.
We need a lot.
You know that's right.
I mean, you know what they really need to? Nice pass rush.
That helps.
Everybody gets better. Well, what about? Could they shift, or could K1
No,
man up on
no,
one of them?
no.
No.
K1's going to play in the slot. He's going to play that position If you want to run man coverage, he's still going to be manned up on whoever's in the slot.
And you don't have Devontae Harris to fall back on anymore.
No, you don't. He's on another roster.
He is.
Yeah, the secondaries.
And Buster Screen is also on another roster, so you can't even bring him back in.
I think he's on a practice squad, isn't he?
No, I think he got activated.
How a player can throw a forearm into a guy's head and not have that penalty, though?
Yeah, you play in Seattle, and the player's forearm is a Seattle Seahawk. That's pretty much how.
That looked like the referees were not, I don't want to say paid off, I don't want to say anything like that, but I do know from other sports too that home teams always get extra call 2, 3, 4, 5 because the referees are human, the umpires are human, and they just don't want to make any kind of close call go against the home team because it's scary for them. It looked like they were definitely afraid to throw a flag on Seattle for anything. And, I mean, that wasn't even the worst call of the day. I'm still trying to figure out how Laken Tomlinson gets a holding when the defensive end doesn't move. He's just standing there.
Everyone's trying to figure out how Laken Tomlinson got a hold.
I know
Pete Carroll's still wondering how they got a hold on that call.
Our text messages back and forth on that one were
pretty funny because I couldn't even spell the curse word that I wanted to spell. I was so baffled by the call. It was so bad.
I mean, you should at least have to try and actually move to get called for a penalty, not just stand there and put your arms up.
Ideally,
that was a stationary hold. It was nice.
He just looked. He looked at him. It wasn't that, guys. He gazed into his eye just a little too long. He held that glare, and so that's what it was for.
I think it's because they saw Jimmy Garoppolo screaming past them. They're like, "Wow, look at the speed on Jimmy." There's about to be a flag on that.
He must have done something wrong.
It was like Top Gun. It was a flyby. You know.
He buzzed the tower. And they were,
sorry, Ghost Rider. It's full.
Well,
that was just bizarre.
Sorry, Ghost Rider. The pattern's full.
It's true. It is full. Cutback crew, look, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Face Off. It was absolutely a lot of fun. A lot of differing opinions on stuff. Some similar opinions. And
the referee sucked.
Hey, a lot of flags. We get the other one.
Unsportsmanlike.
Not you. No, I meant the referees from the game. Not you.
No, it's still unsportsmanlike.
No. I'm gonna rescind. I'm gonna wave the flag.
That's accurate. That's 100% accurate.
Waving the flag.
Pick that one up.
Saying I suck.
No, you were great today. Actually,
awesome. That's gonna get you some calls in the next one. I'm only
better than usual at your high level.
I'm only human, so I'm
only human after all.
Oh. Wait a minute. I thought I had home field advantage. What's going on here?
I guess momentum has shifted.
It absolutely has. Cutback crew. We'll see you on the next episode of 49ers Face Off. And until then, stay safe.
Remember the right way
is always the 49ers.
Beat the Bengals.